Oh my goodness, that's 3 strikes now. Well, guys, this is the playthrough from hell. So if yours goes even slightly better than this, you'll have more success than me. And I've lost all my imports of fuel now. We currently have widespread strikes. This is insanely unlucky. Insane. Hey, I am FeedBackGaming, and this is Hearts of Iron 4 patch 1.8.1. We have a brand new launcher. We have slightly nerfed submarines. We have a bunch of bug fixes and optimizations. Okay, so this isn't a big patch, okay? This is more just a release the launcher and prepare ourselves for the new big expansion, which is, if you've not heard, it's called La Resistance, adding espionage and focuses for France, Spain, and Portugal, as far as we're aware. Speaking of France, there's an achievement that everyone keeps asking me for. An achievement that existed since the release of Hearts of Iron 4. Regular, Iron Man, historical, go. But first, this video is sponsored by World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a free-to-play, massive tank battle simulator. Roll around in tank destroyers, artillery, light, medium, heavy tanks, and duel it out with other players online. I love the historical accuracy and detail on the tank models. My favorite is the Cromwell tank. Ooh. Sign up today to get the T127 tank, 500 gold, and 7 days of premium access for free. The link is in the description below. Thank you, World of Tanks, for sponsoring my video. That achievement is called the Big Entente. As France, complete the Little Entente national focus and have all German cores owned by you or someone in your faction. So 3 things. Do the national focus of Little Entente, which is this one. 2, be the faction leader. Doesn't have to be the faction that we form, that's the Little Entente. It can be any faction. And thirdly, we must take all the cores, either us or a member of our faction of Germany, whether that being at peacetime or at war. We do not need to own this land directly after a peace conference. We can just occupy it. So don't forget, that is all of mainland Germany, Austria, as well as the East Prussia. And of course, not forgetting Danzig. What? Danzig? Core of Germany? Well, it isn't right now, but when they do Danzig war, this does become a core. Let us begin. It's trivia time. What was the longest battle of World War II? What was the longest battle of World War II? If you know, comment below. If you enjoy achievement videos, I do loads of achievement videos. Try watching this achievement video, or this one, or this one, or this one. This one's pretty hard too, or this one maybe. First of all, national focus. We are going to reform the government, and we are going to work towards Little Entente and to fix our disjointed government. Next up, research. We're going to go for electronics, production, and construction. At the very start of the game, we are going to make civilian factories. So these first 3 tiles here, working up from Paris, are the ones we're going to go for because they're 8 infrastructure out of 10, so they build the quickest in those specific regions, and that is the way we're going to be building throughout the whole game. Hold shift, left click on unassigned divisions, select them all, right click assign them to an army. Find the big fat mountain division. Where is it? There it is. Delete the rest. Move it to the plains and press K to exercise. We're also going to merge up our navy. F2, then hold shift, left click on each of those, right click them onto reserve, enter to confirm that, left click on the reserve fleet, and then press G to merge, and they will all automatically merge. We're going to select the air wings too, F3, hold shift, left click, drag a box, right click. That is the entirety of our Air Force, Navy, and ground forces. Production wise, we're going to get rid of the motorized, we're going to get rid of the light tank. We are going to put the guns to the very top, only have 1 though, and the rest is going to go onto artillery. There is actually one other thing too. We're going to hold shift, left click, and go for AA. We're like 1 on AA, just the 1, many. We are going to make primarily artillery-based infantry to do lots and lots of soft attack. We'll also cancel off all these subs and the light cruisers and the battleships as well. The reason why we're doing this is at the very start of the game, we need to be able to start producing convoys. It wouldn't be a feedback gaming video if this video didn't have exploits. So we're going to be exploiting land leases. We're going to be exploiting our ability to join the allies and take it over, and then stalling the wall, you could say, to try and achieve the objective to get the achievement that we need. Next focus, support the status quo to get Little Entente. So right now we're getting up to 150 political power. We are going to use our first 150 to rush to partial mobilization. Not quite an exploit, but you are using the mechanics of the game, particularly for Little Entente, to get that boost of war support, to get that early partial mobilization, which is incredibly useful. So you do get a bunch of events regarding communists in government. My advice is to take all the events that give you more communist support. But there is a but. Once you get just behind 60% fall for communism, don't push it over 60%. You have to back down. Otherwise, you end up flipping to communists, and it'll cause problems with alliances as well as guaranteeing nations. So my advice to you is get to about 57% communist support, and at that point, don't go any further. So just to explain this, which I feel like is a bit of an exploit, it's not actually working as intended. We are going down the democratic path of status quo, but we have the option to flip to communist. And you're going to ask the question, how is that even possible, Dave? How are you going to even be able to do that? If you've not guessed already, next one is Little Entente for that extra 10% war support. Worker strikes, go for negotiate a deal. The Little Entente has been formed, and it allows us to have a faction with Czechoslovakia. Wow. And the next focus we're going to go for is strengthen the government. The way this works is it takes a whole year to strengthen your government, and then it allows you to get rid of disjointed government, which with this focus. But after a full year has passed, we will jump onto this focus to get rid of disjointed, which gives us access to more political power. Now we had 26% war support, we can jump on a very, very early partial mobilization. When you get the option here to do the agreement, go for the bottom one, extra commie support. All right, let's start working on the key divisions we're going to make. So this reserve division is going to be a 10 combat width, which is more optimal for combat, and we will go for support artillery. This is the division we're going to make in bulk that is just going to hold the front line, mainly the Alps as well as the Maginot Line. We also want to make a brand new division, which consists of a single battalion of infantry. This is a bit of an exploity gamey method, which allows you to pump out a lot of these divisions because you game the size of your overall army to convert into the divisions we're actually going to use, aka the brigades, as well as more stronger infantry divisions. We have finished our electronics. Now we are going to go for the fighter, the MS-406. As much as this alliance with Czechoslovakia may be advantageous, but unfortunately Czechoslovakia, we are going to betray you. We're going to kick you out of the faction, and we're going to select our little flag and say disband faction. What is Dave doing? Why would he do that? That's part of the Little Entente, right? Nope. What is Dave trying to do here? Okay, it's time to start working on artillery now. Industrial expansion's done. Military factories is next. Now we're done with fighter, we're going to start working on fighter doctrines. We are going to go for strategic destruction. We're also going to work on a better fighter as well. So let's start producing those, even though we have no factories assigned. For now, anyway. All right, we have 30 XP now. We've already got our reserve. We've already got our transformative division. Let's work on our main artillery pusher. Now, I would normally go for 40 width, but there's not really enough time, and it leaves you kind of open in certain areas. So my advice to you is spam 20 width. Support artillery, and with anti-air and reconnaissance elite. That is the division, and we'll give it a nice icon as well. We'll go for the Devil. And then we're going to train a full 48 of the lesser division that we can use to convert into the main one, which will do that soon. We are going to continue to make civilian factories until 1938. 1938 onwards, military factories. And there will be a point later in the game that we will actually switch back onto civilian factories. And there is a reason why, and you'll find out soon. And then we're going to deploy all of these divisions. Boop. And convert them into these divisions. The Devils. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just sitting on these divisions, let them reinforce with the excess equipment we've got in the back end, and then I'll start exercising them. In the meantime, research time, more artillery. New research slot, and we have finished our improved machine tools, and we're going to do something a wee bit different. We are going to go for computer machine, and we are going to rush for disperse industry. So we want to send an attaché to China to give extra experience. But unfortunately, to do this, we're going to need at least 112 political power to do it. We do have to wait for it to slowly but truly tick up. Okay, so you've got the option here to either go for ground support or interception. Interception is going to be more worthwhile because our fighters will be shooting down the CAS that Germany create, and Germany does create a lot of CAS. Jet effort is complete now, but if we look on strengthen the government, that is due to complete on the 7th of October, so we're very close to that. So 2 weeks away, almost 3 weeks away, we have the ability to remove disjointed government. So I wouldn't recommend starting the research slot until we have the option to complete, fix our disjointed government. There we go. Strengthen the government is finished, and now we can go for defensive stratagems. Not got long left now until 1938, but we can drop down the odd 1 or 2, and then when we hit 1938, we'll start phasing onto military factories. There we go. Disjointed government has been removed. We're going to have lots of political power now, and let's get that research slot done. Now we can go back to building relations with China, imposit relations, and then we can send them an attaché. There we go. This is an event that I usually don't talk about. My advice is go for the middle one. This just makes tactical bombers cost a little bit more for 120 days, but for 180 days, you get minus from consumer goods, which results in loads of extra civilian production. So we've hit 939, so we're going to remove all of these and let those ones finish, and then we will coat our nation in loads and loads of military factories. Loads of them, like that. All right, these guys are exercised now. We can just pop them here for now, and then we need to train another 48 of the lesser division. More than likely, we are lacking a lot of guns. Yep, we are. Now we're going to start working on our army focus because we need to get rid of Victors of the Great War. Victors of the Great War? It sounds great, doesn't it? We're the victors, right? We won! We won! And then you hover over and you're like, oh. So defensive focus is the way forward because we need to hold to begin with. So we're rushing this, and rushing this, and rushing this, and rushing this. The only thing we're not rushing is air doctrine. All right, I'm going to start rushing Fighter 2 now. Remember, every time we get an advantage in the air with extra agility and extra speed, air defense, this will give us a massive edge against Germany. Germany's ability to attack and defend is solely based on their air power. We limit the amount of cast they have by going for anti-air, and if we limit the amount of fighters they have in the air, overall, their offensive capabilities will drop to pretty much 0. We are going to go down our air doctrine path. Remember, we want to get multi-altitude flying. If we've got time, we'll go immediately for logistical bombing for air superiority. Right, the first PP you want to spend is on war industrialists, an extra 10% production. And they're going to go for levy en masse, make our guns cheaper, which we definitely need because we're behind on them by 4,600. Ouch. We're deep into 1938 now. It's time to move the techs onto things that are less about research and production and new equipment, and more about the passive stuff that's going to benefit us when we actually do go to war. So radio, encryption, decryption, support equipments. What I'm going to do is wait for 100 army XP and then flip my land doctrine. As France, it's not really a good idea to flip your land doctrine unless you can get rid of Victors of the Great War, or you can get the boost from having 100 army XP. Exactly what I'm going to do to now. We are going to lead the Czechs to their fate, betrayal. And of course, we're not going to seize anything from Hungary, even though it's very, very tempting. Superior firepower with the boost. We also have 150 political power. We're going to go for light aircraft designer so we can get the Fighter 2 a lot earlier. That is a very early construction 3. And finally now we can get rid of Victors of the Great War. We are no longer the victors, which feels a really strange thing to say. Alright, and we have also got a boost for improved artillery upgrade 2. I told you this one was special, didn't I? You have to time this just right though, because otherwise you'll end up missing it and end up getting the boost for this one. It's not as worthwhile. 10% passive bonus for artillery is very, very good. Right, we've got extra military factories now so we can move things around. My advice to you is if you don't know where to put your military factories, hover over these and have a look. So 100 days for anti-air, we have 33 days for artillery, and we have 163 days for guns. So it looks to me like guns need 1 row, 1 more on AA, and then another row on artillery. Now, we're not that far behind on artillery, but we are going to need more when we convert these divisions into this one, which each of these will have 12 artillery on them. And also we want extra artillery because we're going to use those artilleries to upgrade the previous ones. We've got the first doctrine now, so we're going to branch out and go for more passive bonuses. In this case, encryption. My advice to you is to select at least 5 air wings and make them high priority. What this means is that the best quality, up-to-date, modernist planes will go to these air wings, and then the older ones will be on these ones. And what we'll do is use these planes for air superiority, and then these planes will be used on more interception missions. This isn't essential, but what I would advise you as early as possible to go for the defense guy. He's only 50 PP. So get him, forget about it, and then you can return to going for other focuses. Trust me, if you forget this, it will make a massive impact on how quickly Germany will more than likely stomp you. Right, all of our divisions now can be deployed, so pop them down, and then pop them onto a army, and convert them onto you. Boom. Fortification bonus is done, and we can go for Alpine forts. My advice to you is that Alpine forts had an extra, is it 2 or 3 forts into the Alpine region? What you can do is be really cheesy and add the first 2 layers yourself. That means you'll get an extra +3 on top of that, meaning you'll get more bang for your buck, because the higher level forts go, the more expensive they get. Okay, what I advise you to do as well, because you are not in the Allies, you won't auto join the Allies. So guarantee Poland, I mean you can declare war. That mutually means the UK and France will have an enemy. That means they're likely to accept, well, you joining their faction. Alright, all our planes are exercised. Get the main bunch of them, which probably most of them are more well equipped now. We're also going to start working on anti-air upgrades as well. Trust me, Germany has a lot of cast and you want to deal with them as soon as you can. And also working on the raw passive bonuses for our troops on the ground as well. Let's pop you guys on the front line where we need you. See, one army is going to be on the Maginot. Another army is going to be on the Alps. The UK has guaranteed us. How nice. We'll sign the generals now. We'll go for the generals with the best attack. He is pretty good. He is pretty good. And then we go for more defensive generals and field marshals for the other ones. Right, we'll assign the field marshal first. We're going to go for a very defensive field marshal, but this guy's also got some attack, so he's pretty good. Also, we can give him a trait of unwielding defender. Select you. Go for the best defensive guy. These are all rubbish. These field marshals, though, are probably going to be a little bit better. We're also going to add one extra army onto here, and the other army is going to go on to Belgium. Naval bombers can go here just to hit some submarines if need be. Did I say make more military factories? Yes, more military factories. And right now, I'm kind of pleasantly happy with all the production of all of this. We could just probably add on 15 to get the most upgrades out of our artillery, so our divisions will have the most defense as well as offensive abilities. We have the option to boost mobile defense. My advice is don't lose your 100 XP. Just get all the regular bonuses, because you can see there's a research bonus there already. So just go for the regular one. Poland has refused to give up Danzig, so I need to stop exercising all these divisions, build lots and lots of entrenchment. We have the ability now to call to arms. And more than likely we'll have the ability to join the Allies once we go to war. Boom, we're at war. And also, boom, join the Allies. One other thing we want to do as well is to pretend to train a bunch of divisions. This is the exploit I was telling you about. This is the exploit where we basically beg the Allies, like, we need equipment, guys, we need equipment. Oh, look, all that free equipment. Thank you very much. Don't really need it, but there you go. I begged for it and I got what I wanted. Right, what I'm going to do now is move this army to the south, to the north against Belgium. And in the meantime, too, is I'm going to grab my air force and pop it here. Just in the event the Italians decide to push, which they usually do once I move out my extra troops. Yes, they have. So predictable. So predictable. We will manage to hold if we've got full air superiority and we're bombing them pretty heavily too. Having a big impact on their breakthrough as well. This is a really good idea because this is going to train your generals, gain them lots of experience, loads of traits and whatnot. You can probably use this general later on to become a field marshal because he'll have so much experience. And also feel free to shuffle a few divisions around as well if you see that one area is getting attacked the most. I was right about this area. They'll attack from 3 angles and they'll try and put a lot of firepower on that spot. The wider the combat width, the ability for them to concentrate a lot of their firepower. Keep an eye on this division. Look, you can see here, this is quite low organization. This one's taking a beating too. So feel free to reinforce them and keep them fighting. Right, they've declared on Belgium. Cancel the front lines. I'm going to draw a new front line that goes like here. Now, need to put our fighters here to hold them back. We'll delay them for just a little while just to make sure that these troops in the Alps don't get broken. But the longer they're bashing against the heads against our front line here, the better it is for us because our generals are going to gain loads of experience. This is the easiest way in Hearts of Iron 4 to level up your generals. Makes life so much easy. Hearts of Iron 4 is all about the game that keeps you on your feet, keeps you on your toes. You need to be prepared for every eventuality. And it does look like they broke through the north here relatively quickly. My advice would be to create a fallback line in Belgium instead of making a front line, because otherwise they just wrapped around you and pinned my divisions in place. We're doing a decent job of holding Central France, though. With the option here to counterattack, so my advice is to go for it. Any areas where the AI chooses to push, that's an opportunity for you to counterattack. So there's an opportunity here. If we can retake Calais again, get control of that area, and get those military factories back. Pushing into these plains is really worthwhile, though, and I seem to be doing really well. Be aware there might be gaps in the front line that might form, so just nip that in the bud. Also keep an eye on your Alps line as well. Make sure you're holding in this position. He's now got infantry leader, so he's got a little bit more defensive capabilities to him. We've got full air superiority, but don't forget to do more air crews. So this will give us the option. Oh, that's unlucky. Strikes. It'll give us the option to give a little bit more air efficiency, which means that we're more likely to take down their planes. As you can see, the ratio of planes right now is way in our favor. Look at this. 4 losses. 7 losses, 18 losses, 4 to 14. This is perfect. At least double the amount of kills to losses ratio. Perfect. We can also train a bunch of more divisions now just to hold out on the front line. Another 24. We can slip those on to this front line because it is starting to waver a little bit, which is looking a little bit desperate. We can also import a tiny bit of rubber just to make sure we keep on top of fighter production. Fighter production is essential. Let's look at the ratios. In the last month, they've lost 420. We've lost 175. That's really good. We can retake Calais here. That'll make me very happy. Remember, we're pushing into plains here, so we are going to get a big advantage when it comes down to our ability to push into land and break them. Trying to get Dunkirk back. If we get Dunkirk, that's it. We get all the factories back. That's perfect. This is going splendidly. We're going to rush for logistical bombing because of the air superiority. It reduces their defensive breakthrough. We're currently not having a lot of issues with manpower, but it could be later on because we are going to spawn a bunch of divisions. So I'm going to go for extensive conscription. Oh my goodness, that's 3 strikes now. Well, guys, this is the playthrough from hell. So if yours goes even slightly better than this, you'll have more success than me. And I've lost all my imports of fuel now. We currently have widespread strikes. This is insanely unlucky. Insane. And now we have 0 fuel. The result of that means that we're going to take more losses in the air and our air will be less effective. We might have to just put them on interception. Interception only engages when the enemy is spotted, so that means we will be denying their bombers, but we'll not have air superiority bonus, which reduces breakthrough and reduces the enemy defense. It looks at things, we don't probably need that. That's incredibly frustrating due to the lack of air power. They've managed to break me on 1 point. That is incredibly frustrating. And means I'm probably gonna just have to pin them and hold them in place for a little while. Doesn't seem to be working. Oh boy. This is not looking good. Yeah, I need to pin them while we get some more divisions just to wrap into them, push into them. Once again, we're not trying to push them back here. We're just gonna try and reinforce our armies to be able to get into position. There we go, we're in a better spot than we were before. Oh, here we go. Finally, strikes has been removed. That was the most devastating strike that I have ever had. We're gonna have to import a load of fuel now. Oh my goodness, guys. That was painful. I have never played a game of Hoi which was so intense. Oh my goodness, and there's a part of the Maginot line that's open now. I'm gonna have to railroad there to hold it. There we go. So right now we're sitting, we're getting lots of experience from fighting the Germans, lots of combat XP, and right now all we're doing is building experience for our planes, we're building experience for land forces, and we're just draining all the economy of Germany. The key point when the turnaround is when we have more planes than they do, just because we've shot down more of theirs. Okay, we've got lots of air XP. What we're going to spend that on, do you think? What should we spend that on? That's right, big guns and big engines. So there's something I recently discovered. Air attrition is very, very, very low. It's almost like 1/10 or 1/20th of the amount that happens on land. So having low reliability on planes is actually not the end of the world. Yes, I know someone in the comments said this to me a long time ago and I didn't believe them. I was one of those angry boomers that shook my fist and said, this can't be true. And then I tested it out and it turns out it is true. So there you go. You've learned something new and I've learned something new. We've all learned something new. And sorry that person who commented this ages ago. I love you. I respect you. We are currently 52% communist. So my advice to you is, ooh, this would push us over the edge. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Because right now we're currently already in the Allies anyway. And now we have the option to go for the referendum. That's right. We have gone down the democratic path, but we have an option right now to go to communist, which is the advantage is we have the ability to justify and declare war. Communism on the rise. So if you had 100 political power, you could do it manually, but you get this event. Don't select the bottom one. It's going to cause a civil war. Trust me, you don't want a civil war. Oh, look, we have the guy with the forehead. Forehead guy. Look at the size of that forehead. That's amazing. Anyway, we forgot about doctrines. So we need to go for this. Spend the 100 XP. Get it super fast. Oh my god, the ping-ponging. The back and forth of the German troops. It's insane. Upgrade our guns. Better guns. Lots of planes. Good. If I was playing just an average game, at this point I'd be thinking about counter-attacking, because look, the generals are both in green. These guys say they can break through the lowlands and push them back. But the honest truth is I don't want to do that. I want to try and stall this for as long as possible, because I need lots of time to be able to take over the Allies. That's right, takeover faction, which was added in the latest patch, which came with the latest DLC for Hearts of Iron 4, which was Man the Guns, wasn't it? Yes, it was. To do this, we need 300 political power, and we need 2.45 million manpower deployed, and we also need more than 234 factories. So the reason we're waiting right now, not doing anything, is we're waiting for those sweet factories. That's what we're waiting for. We've got more military factories right now. To be honest with you, we're almost at like the maximum capacity for military factories. That seems like such a strange statement to make, but yeah, at this point we don't actually need any more. So what I'm going to do is drop those down to 1 for the ones that are partially constructed. Always be repairing forts, so that's a no-brainer. And also, we need to make more civilian factories. Lots and lots of civilian factories. Ideally not near the front line. I guess the Alsace-Lorraine is okay. And then pop the repairs of infrastructure to the bottom. We don't care about those for now. Oh, look at the ratios now. 17 to 0, 16 to 0, 19 to 30 to 0. So advanced, so powerful. It just can't handle it. We have more air attack, we have more agility, and we have more speed. And if you also hover over this as well, we only lost 35 to air accidents, which is definitely worth it. Their guns are so fat, so powerful, so weighty that they cause more accidents because they're so huge. But they're very, 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 very effective in combat. Incredibly effective. So in this case, let's see how effective they can be. Boom. Right now we need to train lots of divisions to get more manpower in the field. So I'm going to train probably as many as we can go. How high can we go? 116 divisions of our smaller reservist troops. Right now, we need more political power, because as you notice, our cabinet is looking pretty empty, and we prefer to probably go to total mob 2. So what I'm going to do is knock that off, and we'll gain 2 political power per day, so we'll be able to fill out all of those way more easily. And also the Alps, the Italian is still banging their head against me, and they've actually managed to take this tile. Oh, that really sucks. Can we take it back? Oh my god, looks like we can take it back. Can we even do this? Oh my goodness. And the AI is not even trying to stop us. Not even trying to stop us. And we managed to ride back. There we go. Insane. There you go. 6 free divisions. Nice. Anyway, total mobilization. And then we need to get some war bonds. See, we're trying to boost our economy right now. Try and produce more factories. Therefore, we can take over a faction. That is the goal. I've got lots of XP right now, so spend it. Oh, the Republicans won the Civil War. Okay. I wonder why they were sending me volunteers. Okay, what I'm going to do now is kill the imports. That means run out of fuel, as you probably will see. But the bonus of this means we're going to have access to more of our economy. Those 6 civilian factories that we lost, we are going to get them back temporarily so we can build more factories. If we do hit 0 fuel, though, I will import it again from wherever land. Our current force limit is 1.4 million. Needs to go higher. Train more divisions. Actually, on hindsight, I'm actually going to do something different. We're going to duplicate that division, remove the artillery, give it a unicorn, save it, convert all of these boys to unicorns, and give it more infantry. So this will make the overall manpower force limit significantly higher. That'll give us more leverage to take over the allies, which we need to do that quickly, really quickly, because otherwise Britain's armored forces will get bigger and therefore causes more problems. And also this division is going to be made a default because I want equipment to go to that division. And now we watch as the manpower drains. Probably worthwhile too to get women in the workforce and probably go for service by requirement. We can always step down from service by requirement to extensive once we've already taken over the allies. More guns from Britain? Hell yeah. The reason we do that is because we have the ability to do it. Because as you can see, we've got loads of convoys. I will accept all those juicy guns from you, UK. Thank you so much. Okay, manpower right now is a maximum of 3.1 million. How much do we need to take over the allies? 2.86. So we're on the right path, but right now we're kind of struggling with our manpower pool. So we have to go service by requirement. Service by requirement. Oof. Look at these boys. Veterans. Truly unbreakable. Let's give them a different icon. Let's give them the honorary division icons for France. Isn't that the free France icon? We're definitely free though, boys. Never capitulated. Always free. Perma-free. We're running out of places to build, boys. Oh, we actually control Sardinia. That's cute. Okay, we're going to go for Captain of Industry. Extra 10% build speed for the civies. We need to get loads and loads of civies. Just to recap on research, I'm working towards the more air superiority, which is formations there. I'm also getting more researchers to speed all these ones up. More soft attack. More attack, basically from the doctrines. And also anti-air upgrades to get that max anti-air. Probably not going to need that as much, probably at the moment, because we're not seem to be dealing much cast. But you know what? Better anti-air. It's probably going to be worthwhile because it'll give us extra soft attack as we get the final tech. Oh my god, the UK loves giving us free stuff. Thank you so much. America would like to send us guns as well. And we have so many convoys. You know what? We can accept them all. I'll take them. Thank you very much. So what do we need now? We need 300 political power. We need 2.2 million manpower in the field now. The number keeps going up. Yay. And we need 357 factories. We have 175. We have a long way to go. Offensive operations, we can go for this now to get the max air superiority. Right, we're in a bit of a tricky spot right now. We need to wait for some of this research to finish because we need to go for the next dispersed industry so we have more building slots. As you can see, we seem to be running out of building slots. Oh no, Japan's declared on us. The reason that's a bit rubbish, that means they're probably going to seize the rubber in Vietnam. Really does suck. But I haven't got extra troops to dedicate to here. This is America's playground. They can take care of things over there. They'll be all right. We're gonna go for air-land battle because we want the bonuses from extra air superiority, an extra 20%, which reduces defense and breakthrough of the enemy when you've got air superiority. So we're gonna go for disperse now. Bigger artillery, nice. Let's go for more artillery, more soft attack. Germany's lost their offensive capabilities and they're even struggling in Greece as well. So not looking too good for them. We want to squeeze out every little bit extra production, so we are gonna go for free trade. Here comes the importing boys. United States, rubber, aluminium. The Americans have landed into West Africa. We all remember how that went, guys, did we? You remember that? Did you pay attention to history? Yeah, it went really bad for the Americans. And it doesn't look like it's going any better for them either. And you're encircled, boy. Are you encircled? Are you No, you're not. They're managed to get Marrakesh. But yeah, I've decided we're going to go for 40 width. So artillery, artillery, and all the way up to a juicy 40 width division. It's really sad to do this because it means they're going to lose the veteran status, but trust me, the 40 width is going to be more effective in the long run anyway. We're also going to rush for disperse 4-2. As I said to you, we need those building slots. Oh, so many building slots now. We have so many. We're also going to rush construction because we want to get those factories pumped out. Total army size, 3.4 million. How much do we need? We now need... we have enough. We have enough. We just need 416 factories now. Now, this is going to be really difficult to get without taking a few factories from Germany. So my advice to you is push into Germany. Don't push into Italy. You go into this screen, war screen, remove the minors. The only majors are Italy and Germany. Now, if you manage to get a major Romania or major Hungary, awesome. Just push into Italy and Germany. Do your own thing. The problem is you don't want to push Italy first, because if you knock out them and then knock out Germany, that's 2 majors knocked out and the war ends. Remember, you need to be in a situation where you control all of Germany's cores. So my advice is to push into Germany, go through here, capture all Germany, eat them all, put them all into the Allied faction, and then take out Italy. Don't go for Italy first. We need 429 factories. We need to more than double increase the amount of factories we've got. So it's time to push. Go, go, go. This is going to be disgusting, guys. Are you ready for this? This is going to be so disgusting. We'll attach all our air wings onto our main field marshals, then we'll go, go, go. Don't like to send in fighters when they're greenies, because it's based on the complete average amount of planes in a region. You end up in a situation where the greenies, the rookies, are actually hurting your main air wings. And as you can see, we are breaking into them right now and pushing them back. Probably better if we manually take control, to be honest with you. The AI is not doing a very good job. There you go, air superiority. And air superiority. And there we go. Right now we should be getting so much air superiority, we're demolishing them. Welcome back, Belgium. Welcome back. Right now it's actually not going as smooth as I thought, which is actually kind of good, because that means they're still relatively strong. Oh, I don't know, we're still pushing them. We still need to be making some ground. I don't want to touch anything. If we're winning, you don't want to touch things. Luxembourg was reborn and then once again died. Welcome back, Luxembourg. Born and then raised again. Luxembourg Phoenix. Can we make a meme out of that? Actually, I think I'm going to take a risk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push out and I'm going to ask the Netherlands and Belgium for control of the state. That's what I'm going to do. We're in position. We have most of our planning bonus. All the equipment is mostly being sorted. And go. Loads of firepower. All right, give me control of Hanover. They've given me it. Oh, thank goodness. So now we're going to have access to their factories. Here and here. Then we're going to use these reserve divisions as the ones that are going to suppress. Okay, they won't give access to both. No. Just take one of them then. Yeah. We need to do this relatively quickly, because if we soften Germany, it hurts all their front lines. The more likely they'll start losing Italy, they'll start losing Greece. And so we need to be in a position where we can swiftly take out Germany. Oh, Sweden is in the Allies. Like control of that, please, Netherlands. And they say no. They said yes to begin with, and now they've said no. Okay. Yeah, that's not working. I need to just hold a moment and take a deep breath. One of the issues that might be happening right now is that the resistance troop might be increasing supply. So I'm just going to pull them out and see if that makes a difference. Oh my god, it is. I was causing that problem myself. We'll put them back in when we need them, but right now they're being suppressed just by the frontline troops. So when we push forward, then we'll start changing things around. Actually, I think what I'll probably do is take off 2. Just split them off into smaller, more digestible chunks. Hey, accidental encirclement. I like that. Yay, we've got Berlin, which is really good, because that's a lot of factories. I think it's time now to put the suppression divisions back forward. We need to make sure none of these factories break, because the broken factories don't count towards the total. We need to get you boys in immediately. Oh my goodness, that's a nice encirclement. It's not quite an encirclement, it's kind of a push them into the sea strategy. And they're broken. Got logistics now, so we can pop those onto the big divisions. You know what? I love it. Logistics so much. They're going to go on everything. Oh, look at this progress. Glorious, glorious progress. Yeah, I think it's time to take a breather. Once again, the red front lines are both red. And Control B to railroad them to the front lines, get some more planning bonus, and go from there. Netherlands all along has been holding on to this one state just to spite me. They're like, you know what? We're keeping this one. It's ours. These are the spoils for capitulating, right? The spoils of war. Now, meanwhile, build more factories, but don't forget to keep on top of those repairs. Possibility of encirclement. I love that possibility. Make sure we pin these guys. Stay there. Stay there, boys. Push forward. You stay there. Put you for encirclement. Where do you think you're going? You stay there. And there we go. Everyone where they need to be. One important thing to do too is make sure you've got their harshest occupation, because this means you gain the most factories. In this case, we'll lose access to 60% of their factories if we go for gentle. We're not going to be gentle with them, boys. Alright, we're pushing into the Sudeten right now. Oh my goodness. Level 7 forts into mountains. I don't think that's a good idea. I think the way to break the Sudeten will be to bomb it. Alright, I think I'm going to try something different. I'm going to attack with the 2 frontline divisions. But I'm going to keep selecting the guys who are pushing into the set and keep pressing H. Stop, 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 stop. That way I don't just waste tons of equipment. But they'll be pushing in other areas of the front line. West Wall encirclement. Lock them out. Take them out. So close to Vienna. And... Oh, Charles de Gaulle is wounded trying to take Vienna. What a brave soul. Leading from the front. And all that land. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that given to me? Yes, it is given to me. Almost 500 factories. Let's do it. Oh, no, we don't have enough political power. Take over faction. Oh, we need a larger army, too. Guys, there's so much going on. There is so much going on. So let's remember the requirements here. I have to finish the Little Entente achievement. I have to be the leader of the faction. And members of my faction or me need to occupy all of Germany's core territory. That's all of this. All of this. Don't forget to suppress all the new land that you've just taken. Liberated the Czechs. Kind of. Kind of liberated the Czechs. Kind of. Not quite, because I occupy them now. Only problem is occupation does reduce the amount of political power we get per day, which is slightly annoying. But we have 508 factories right now. 508! Insane. There we go. We can assume control of the faction. Take over faction. French Commune has assumed control of the Allies. The Allies are now a very lovely light blue. Achievement unlocked! If I didn't already have the achievement. There you go. That's it. That's the cheesy way of getting big Entente. I guess it's easier than the Deny Rhineland method, but hell. There you go. Beautiful, right? French Commune. Beautiful. Now let's finish off the Axis in Europe. Let's get them out of here. Get out of here. All right, there we go. All in position. With max planning. Boom, let's end this. Aggressive. Go, 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 go. Slovakia, you do not have a chance, my son. You're about to get completely and utterly battered. You go Slovakia. You want to go? Sure, why not? Go, my dude. Push, push, push. Croatia, rip. Hungary, rip. Yug, rip. Rip. Oh, they're a supervised state because I was originally a democracy. Right, okay. So I can't actually annex them, but never mind. They're a puppet of mine anyway. Oh, you cannot. Oh, always false. You can't annex them because they're a supervised state. Never mind. There you go. Look at that. Oh, glorious. So beautiful. And that is peak France with 378 factories. My goodness. Napoleon would be proud. So at this point, if you wanted to continue, you are a leader of the faction, so you could boot everyone out of the faction. Boot all the majors out. They've formed their own little faction now. Allies 2.0. There you go. Because there's currently a war in the east against Japan. So they need to be in a faction to kind of glue themselves together. The original cut for this video was 55 minutes long, and I felt like that was too long. What I removed was still premium content. It was explanation on mechanics, why I made certain choices, why I didn't go for the traditional path of denying the Rhineland, lots of more micro elements of the video. The original director's cut still exists, and I have uploaded it to my YouTube channel. I will release the unedited, uncut, fully refined 55-minute Epic France Big Entente video if we get 130,000 subscribers before Christmas Day. 130k before the 25th of December. Can we do it? And I'll drop that video on Christmas Day as a beautiful Christmas present for you guys. I love you. Bye-bye. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget the link to World of Tanks is in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Remember, the bell's important. Hit the bell. Hit the bell now. Your to-do list is to hit the bell. Hit the bell. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bell.